In Trump's voice, only losers are found guilty. That's true. I prefer candidates who aren't convicted felons.
Star of Home Alone 2 and reality TV show host Donald Trump was found guilty on 34 felony counts. MAGA and all the Trump bootlickers are having feelings over that. We're going to get into some clips of Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks breaking it down. Let's get into it.
Now, Vivek Ramaswamy weighed in, posting on X that the prosecutor in the hush money case, meaning Alvin Bragg, is a politician who promised to nail Trump. Just want to note that all district attorneys are politicians. They're all elected. But let me continue. The judge's daughter is a Democrat operative who literally raised money from the trial while her father presided over it. What the daughter does shouldn't have anything to do with your judgment in regard to the judge, but it doesn't matter since his daughter is in fact a Democrat and has raised money for Democrats. They've really latched onto this argument to make it appear as though the judge is unfair and biased against Trump. The jury instructions said they didn't have to agree on the crime to convict. This will backfire. Look, I think the most accurate thing in Vivek Ramaswamy's, or potentially accurate, let me just be clear because I don't know for sure, is the very last part about it backfiring. I am worried about that. I'm worried about what the verdict is going to do to the country, even though I agree that the verdict was the correct verdict. So we'll see how this all transpires, but I do think that there might be some truth to Vivek Ramaswamy arguing that this might backfire.
There's been a lot of talk today about this being a sad day for the country. That we have, and on one side it's sad because they think Donald Trump is innocent. He was found guilty on 34 felony counts. His lawyers had input in picking the jurors in this trial. So there's no doubt that he's guilty. But what is sad is that Donald Trump and Joe Biden are the two candidates. We have 330 million people in the United States, and these two are the best that we can do. That's what's really sad. Donald Trump is a scumbag. He's a con man. He's a criminal. He doesn't deserve to be president. But Joe Biden is not a great candidate. We need better candidates than this. Anna and Cenk got into a post from Tucker Carlson. Let's hear what they had to say about that and what Tucker Carlson had to say.
As this verdict has been read and people are disagreeing with it because they support Trump, he continues to write, "This won't stop Trump. He'll win the election if he's not killed first."
Yeah, I'm starting to hear that a lot now.
Now that's just insane. That's just insanity that anybody would think that's going to happen.
These idiots think that Donald Trump is in some sort of danger, like that because they put in a warrant that the FBI can use their weapons if they want to when they did the Mar-a-Lago raid. That is literally the language in every single warrant, including the one used to raid Biden's house. So were they going planning to assassinate Biden? But look, guys, MAGA has two components. One is the guys who are super frustrated with the establishment and they're sick of the corruption and they're populist and they've been misdirected into believing that this con man is somehow their savior. But they're in.
And that aspect that they're getting into, that Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur are getting into here about Donald Trump, is sad. That there were people, a lot of people were not really politically active in the past, and for whatever reason, they view Donald Trump as this outsider, even though he was giving money to politicians on both sides for years. He hung out with the Clintons, who now they're mortal enemies. But the people see the corruption on both sides, and they really want something to be done about that. But at this point now, this is now the third election with Donald Trump running. Again, we can't do better than Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. But it would be great if we would see other elites and top politicians being held accountable the way Trump is being held accountable. We have most of Congress engaging in insider trading, but the people that are the biggest supporters, the biggest MAGA supporters, the biggest Trump supporters, they don't see that. They see this guy as a savior and think that he can do no wrong, which is just incredibly bizarre for this guy who was a lifelong con man and criminal.
But their original instinct that there's something wrong with the system is correct. But there is also a portion of MAGA that doesn't want to listen to anything. And that thinks, I liked America back when we were in charge. And I don't care how we get there. I don't care if we have to raid the Capitol. I don't care if we have to do violence. I don't care if Donald Trump's a liar and a criminal I don't care. I don't care. I want the power back, okay? So Trump's convicted, so good. Good, I want all my guys to be convicted. That means we don't care about the goddamn law. We want America not to be a democracy and be filled with equality. We want America to look like us. And so if you say, hey, Jake, come on, that seems a little unfair. Tucker Carlson just said it. So who do you think he's trying to appeal to? Tucker Carlson is just an inferior grade of con man. He's trying to get the audience of the half of MAGA or whatever percentage you want to assign to it that thinks, yeah, America should be white. And this brown jury or whatever they were in New York, they're discriminating against poor Donald Trump. Those folks, you can't talk reason to those guys. But you can talk reason to half of MAGA at least, and most importantly, as I keep saying, the independents that are gonna decide this election.
What's insane, there's a lot of talk, and Cenk and Ana talked about this, about independence. How could anyone be undecided at this point? That people are looking at the outcome of these trials to determine whether they're going to vote for Trump or they're going to vote for Joe Biden. We know both of these guys. There's not much left to discover about them, if anything. This is Trump's third time around running, and he was in the public eye way before that. Biden, the same thing. He's been in the public eye forever, and he's been president for 4 years. There isn't anything else to learn about these people who is undecided at this point. It just makes no sense.
I also want to just address the fact that Tucker Carlson, especially lately, is really positioning himself as a common man, right? Someone who really understands ordinary Americans, ordinary people. He's really branding himself as this right-wing populist.
The guy who is the heir to the Swanson TV dinner fortune is trying to position himself as the common man,
while simultaneously sweeping the crimes of the former president, because he says that this marks the end of the fairest justice system in the world, because God forbid one of their own, an elite, should be.
And they keep saying over and over again, the Fox News people and the pundits on the far right and all the MAGA people keep saying, well, if they can do this to Donald Trump, they can do this to you. Guess what? Yeah, they've always been able to do this to you. And you, the average American person, would have been in prison long ago if you did 10% of what Donald Trump has done. They talk about a two-tiered justice system. We have a two-tiered justice system. The fact that this scumbag is probably not going to be going to prison, even though that he was found guilty on all these felony charges, shows that we have a two-tiered justice system. So here's Matt Walsh, self-professed theocratic fascist, who says, I don't often donate to political campaigns, but I will be making a sizable donation to the Trump campaign tonight. Donald Trump should make in public a list of 10 high-ranking Democrat criminals who he will have arrested when he takes office. First on the list should be Joe Biden. Second should be Joe Biden's crackhead son. This is pretty great. Judge Janine, the screenshot is perfect. Here's Donald Trump Jr., guilty on all counts. The Democrats have succeeded in their years-long attempt to turn America into a third world shithole. November 5 is our last chance to save it. Marjorie Taylor Greene just has the upside down flag. Marjorie Taylor Greene also, I've been saying from the beginning, we will vote for President Donald J. Trump even if he's in jail. A wrongful conviction will bring a landslide for Trump and prove to America Democrats are the party of corruption, communism, and tyrants. Go ahead, pull the curtain back. President Trump is innocent in all caps. These are people, they don't care about the law. They talk about being the law and order party, but their God King gets convicted of 34 felonies, and they say they'll vote for him even if he's in prison. Here's Jesse Waters with J.D. Vance on his show.
You hear so many experts, frankly, from across the aisle say that this case won't stand up on appeal. Well, if the case won't stand up on appeal, why was it ever brought in the first place? Why was a judge...
It will stand up on appeal. It was a unanimous decision, 34 counts.
Whose family has gotten rich off of Democratic Party fundraising, allowed to preside over this thing in the first place. And Republicans, Jesse, we cannot just sit on our hands. We can't just complain about it, as important as all of that stuff is. We have to be willing to fight back. We need to be subpoenaing Judge Merchan and his daughter. We need to understand what are the connections between big Democratic money and this sham.
So they're just going to cry, twist themselves into all kinds of logic pretzels. It's what they've done the entire time that Donald Trump has been on the political scene. Here's Jim Jordan, one of the worst, very worst members of Congress. The verdict is a travesty of justice. The Manhattan Kangaroo Court shows what happens when our justice system is weaponized by partisan prosecutors in front of a biased judge with an unfair process designed to keep President Trump off the campaign trail and avoid bringing attention to President Biden's failing radical policies. Americans see through Democrats' lawfare tactics and know President Trump will be vindicated on appeal. The terribleness of Donald Trump doesn't, Joe Biden can be terrible, but that doesn't mean that Donald Trump isn't terrible as well. Tommy Tuberville, maybe the dumbest senator, says pure election interference. Here's Laura Ingraham of Fox News.
I guess we all need, to shop at Banana Republic from now on? Because that's what it feels like. Yeah, a Banana Republic. I wish there was something to laugh about, but there's not. This is a disgraceful day for the United States, a day that America...
It's a disgraceful day for the United States because we're still dealing with Donald Trump, who should have been banished from politics after January 6th. But we still have... There's a 50-50 shot of this pile of garbage being reelected. That's the shame in all of this. Dan Bongino, far-right talk show host. Dear liberal commie F-wads, warning you now, we'll be drinking your delicious tears in November. Laugh now, mother effers. You'll be crying soon. Bank on it. What a tough guy. I mean, this guy is such a piece of shit. It's unbelievable. Dinesh D'Souza, who went to prison, mind you. America has joined the list of third world countries that convict opposing leaders. We've even got Piers Morgan. This is a sad, shameful day and a ridiculous day for America. To drag a former president who's running for president again through criminal courts over something so trivial feels a massive overreach and an incredibly divisive and obviously politically partisan action. So MAGA is bigly mad that Donald Trump is actually facing some consequences. He was found guilty. We'll see what happens as far as his sentencing. But Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur made some good points here about MAGA and their reaction to this. But what do you think? Was this a travesty of justice that Donald Trump is finally being held accountable criminally? Or do you think that Donald Trump, is he above the law? What do you think about all this? Make sure to comment, give me a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.